It's 2 years ago. I'm sitting in my living room in front of my parents with my head down, listening them both confront me. They're yelling at me because for the entirety of the day, I had done nothing other than either play video games, watch YouTube, or do both at the same time. I hadn't spent a single second even talking to them for the entire day. I literally just sat there and consumed for one entire day, like 10 hours. And honestly, I felt pretty shameful about this. I knew this wasn't a good thing. I knew I was probably addicted to this to a very high degree. It wasn't very good. And so I go up back to my room, feeling extremely shameful about everything. I sit down on my desk and I proceed to play video games for the next 2 hours again. If you clicked on this video, you already know that social media and video games, all of these things are bad. In some degree, they are, especially if you're addicted to them. But yet, no matter how much you tell yourself this, you just can't seem to get rid of this addiction. And honestly, I don't blame you, bro. Because these corporations that have engineered these products have spent billions of dollars in total doing nothing other than making their product as addicting as possible. So actually, I just want to give you a quick pat on the back right now because you should feel proud that you're trying to actually make change, because 90% of other people that you know don't even know that they're addicted. They don't even care that they're addicted. And so you might be asking, why should you listen to me? You should listen to me because I went from the kid who played video games or just scrolled aimlessly on social media for pretty much the entire day to somebody who now pretty much stopped doing it. I'm no longer shackled to this addiction that it feels so hard to get rid of. And I've gone through every single step, every single trial that comes with getting rid of this addiction that we've been probably fostering for years at this point. And so I can help you to get the same results as me if you just listen to what I say in this video. So first of all, let's just give ourselves a new objective here, because social media as a whole is not inherently a bad thing exactly. It's bad to be addicted to it. And so here's the thing. You can actually use social media in a way that actually benefits you. However, you are not doing that right now. You're just scrolling aimlessly for hours upon hours a day, hoping for some quick fix to inevitably get rid of this addiction. And so let's reframe our mindset. We're not trying to eliminate social media entirely and be like a monk in a forest, because that'd be kind of retarded, honestly. You'd be going backwards if you tried to do that. Instead, what we want to do is we want to get control over how we go onto social media. We're not going onto there just to entertain ourselves and numb ourselves like we're just a little chimpanzee. We are trying instead to use it as a tool, as it was intended to. We're going to get control over our mind so that we can put our energy into things that are better than simply wasting hours a day on this addiction. Because think about it, what if you got all the benefits from social media? You could get all the information, you could get all of the connection without all of the bad, which is all the addiction, all of the wasted time. That is possible, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And here's the best part. I was addicted to social media for like years on end, honestly. I've been addicted for about 7 years, and the best part is it only takes a few months to truly eliminate this addiction forever. And it really doesn't take that much time as soon as you get the right mindset. So now, before we can actually get to quitting social media, we need to first take a look quickly at what exactly is making you addicted to it. What exactly is the reason behind you playing video games or scrolling on social media for hours on end every single day? Well, the main reason that I experience, and you probably do as well, is FOMO, fear of missing out. Here's the thing, because we have been conditioned for years on end by just watching it more and more, as soon as we have a little thought of just quitting, we all of a sudden have this FOMO, of fear of missing out, of thinking that we're not going to be social anymore because we're not on social media, that we're going to miss out on like entertainment, that we're going to miss out on information, whatever it is. These thoughts are going through your head right now, and I'm going to give you the honest, brutal truth. These thoughts are nothing more than you just coping to yourself. When I quit social media, my social life didn't actually get worse. That's funny. That's the funniest part. During COVID, when I was playing for hours on end, my social skills weren't good, and they got 10 times better as soon as I just quit this addiction. You don't understand how your thoughts are actually. You need to understand this. Your thoughts right now should not be trusted, because these same thoughts of, oh, I'm going to miss out, oh, I shouldn't listen to this kid, he's just a kid, he doesn't even have a deep voice. These thoughts are the same thoughts that led you to play video games for hours a day, to scroll endlessly for hours a day, numbing yourself and destroying your attention span. Once you take full responsibility for the fact that you're here, you need to realize that you need to start listening not to yourself, and so I want you to just confront yourself and be like, wait a minute, why should I listen to these thoughts? These thoughts have never served me. And once you do this, you'll have a huge layer of freedom, because now you're thinking logically. The whole time that you've been addicted, you've also been subconsciously like supporting these corporations too. Your mind is literally fighting against your growth. It is supporting the poison that you're consuming every single day. Don't trust it. The other thing that we need to look at is also dopamine. Now, honestly, you probably heard about dopamine, but you know what's insane is that dopamine is honestly just like a drug at this point. Dopamine is pretty much the motivation chemical, and these corporations have gotten so good at just infusing it into their product, but it feels so good to use it, right? And so what happens is that we start having a vicious cycle where we're normally here, like this is our baseline of dopamine, but when we use it, all of a sudden it goes up to like here, and then once we get off of it, it comes back down. And so we want to stay up here, so we stay on social media for longer and longer. Think about it. You start playing video games and you started using social media for like an hour a day, right? But what happened was that over time, just like a drug addict who has more dependence to his drugs, you started playing more and more. You started watching not for 1 hour a day, but for 4 hours. You started playing video games not for 30 minutes a day, but for 6 hours. Just think about it. You're literally like a drug addict. You're dependent on it for the same hit of dopamine. That is a drug, and these corporations know this. Just think about the entirety of our generation being hooked onto these substances, these drugs of social media, of constant like cheap dopamine that comes from all the video games. Just think about how we're gonna end up 20 years from now when we need to actually start building up our own wealth, when we're trying to actually make a new life for ourselves. We can't do that when we're a drug addict. You need to think to yourself, I am not going to be like everybody else. Everybody else is literally a drug addict right now, and you probably are too, but you have a choice right now. You can either choose to actually take action against his addiction, or you can stay completely hooked just like everybody else. So now we've just talked about how exactly they've been keeping us hooked, right? So there's dopamine, and then there's also FOMO. However, we also need to, so now we can actually get to, okay, how do we actually quit? How do we get rid of this addiction for good? And this is honestly the most surprising part of the video, because most of it just boils down to one thing. One key aspect of your life that you have been neglecting that has caused you to get into all these addictions of social media, of junk food, of video games, of porn, of pure agitation for life. And that one thing is poor mental health. So mental health is pretty much how good so mental health pretty much governs every single aspect of how you live your life, honestly. So I just want to give you a quick analogy. If you had perfect mental health, what do you imagine that person would be doing with his life? That person wouldn't need endless scrolling to stay motivated with life, to stay motivated to live life. The person that has perfect mental health, he wouldn't actually need video games. He wouldn't need to shit talk his friends on Discord. He wouldn't need all these things to be happy, to function as a human, right? And so now you need to admit to yourself, you're not like that, are you? You crave all these different pleasures because you don't have good mental health. And so the root cause of all of this bad habit is just poor mental health. And we need to fix this before we can get any further. Because you can do everything else I talk about in this video. You can put all the blockers. You can create this new identity for yourself. You can try to replace social media, but if you don't have good mental health, you will automatically fall back to where you were. So actually, our focus should not be just on trying to quit social media. Our focus should instead actually just be on improving our mental health, creating a lifestyle where we just have such good mental health that we not only just quit social media, but we quit video games, we quit arguing with your parents, you quit not doing the hard work, you quit all of these vices that you have. They all go away when you just have good mental health, and I can testify to this. The only real way to get rid of this addiction is to just get rid of this bad mental health and replace it with good mental health. And so how do we do this? Well, the best way that I have found to actually do, give improvements to my mental health is to start working towards goals in life. Here's the thing, the majority of teens our age, they have no direction in life, do they? You've seen the boys playing video games hours on end. You do this because you have no real direction in your life. And when you have no real direction in your life, you're gonna just gravitate towards the things that feel good, alright? And so I want to teach you a concept right now that genuinely changed my life that I want you to hear. And that concept is called delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is literally just you doing things that feel bad right now, but give you pleasure later. So all the habits that you do right now, like the video games, the junk food, all of these things, they feel good right now. You feel a spike in dopamine, a spike in happiness right now. However, as soon as you get off of it, you have worse mental health, you have worse motivation, all these things that go down. And so the best way to improve mental health, sounds kind of weird, it's just to do things that are painful right now, to choose pain right now so that you have a better life in the future. Study right now. Do the thing that feels hard right now, but in the future, it'll actually pay off, right? What I'm telling you is, okay, when you study right now, it feels really difficult, right? Because you can't really focus for a bit. It feels a little bit boring, but you just trudge on for 20 minutes and all of a sudden, the next day, your grades go up. The exam that you studied for, you just did great in it. That's how it works with everything in life. With exercise, it feels painful right now. However, a few weeks down the line, all of a sudden, you just lost like 2 pounds. It's a shame that nobody knows about this, and you can see it. Everybody else has it completely backwards, right? Everybody else, instead of doing the hard work right now, they do the easy thing right now, and you probably do too. Like, I just want to think about you just 2 weeks ago. Are you proud of him for choosing pleasure right then? Are you proud of him for playing all the video games even when you knew it wasn't good for you? No, right? So what you need to do is you need to have a new mindset, almost, of just looking ahead into the future. What will future me think of me right now and what I'm doing? Will future me be super happy that I played 12 hours of video games and procrastinated on all my work? Probably not, right? But future me would probably appreciate me resisting some of the junk food. Future me would be proud of me doing a little bit of exercise. He would be proud of me doing these small things. And so the best way, in my opinion, to just like change your life around completely, improve your mental health, and get rid of all these habits is to have a new mindset for life of pain right now, not pain in the future. And so what this looks like is today, even when you don't feel like it, you make your bed. You don't need to start out by doing like a fucking Goggins 50-kilometer run. All it means to delay gratification is for you to make your bed today and study for 20 minutes. You need to choose pain right now, not like excruciating pain where you're like taking needles and you're shoving them into your ears. But I'm talking about pain as in you doing the harder work right now for your future self, for him to benefit. Once you adopt this mindset, your life will only get better because all of a sudden, you're not doing the things that feel good right now like everybody else. You're doing the things that your future self will benefit from. And this is the best way to improve your mental health because all of a sudden, you have these accomplishments in front of you. All of a sudden, you've just lost a few pounds. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you're a little bit more fit. When you're trying to work, you have a little bit more focus because now you haven't been frying your brain with all the instant pleasures. That is literally the only secret that you need. You don't need to just try to quit social media. You need to just improve your bad mental health. And you do this by delaying gratification. Now, here's the thing. This solution is not for pussies. This solution isn't easy. It's supposed to be, you've been indulging in this addiction of social media, destroying your mental health for years. So it's not going to be a 2-day fix. It's going to take weeks, maybe even months. But the payoff is worth it, bro. So yeah, that's literally all you need is quit social media. You don't need all these extensions, although they do help, and maybe in a future video I'll talk about them. All you need to quit social media to improve your mental health is to just set goals and choose pain right now so that your future self benefits. And that will improve your mental health, and that will inherently make it so that you don't need social media because you're leveling up in real life. You don't need video games because all of a sudden you're improving in real life. You're happy. You don't need them. This is the advice that changed me from this depressed addict to this person who actually enjoys life. And so I give this message to you. There is still time. If you're a teenager like me, you still have a few years left until shit really hits the fan. You still have a chance to reverse what's going on. But if you wait, if you procrastinate on simply doing what you know is good for you, you will not make it, bro. So yeah, that's all I have for today. Go down and click subscribe button if you found value. If you stuck until the end here, you're actually a G because you didn't need all of the weird ass edits to keep you hooked. So just give yourself another pat on the back. My goal is to get 10,000 teens out of the mental health and like addiction rut that I went through years ago. And so if you want to join my movement, all you need to do is just subscribe so that you get more videos just like this posted to your feed. Other than that, my name's Atharf. See you soon.